Welcome, everybody, to another FiatLeak live stream. I'm your host, Danny DeBrito. It is Friday, January 5th, and we are joined by the darling boy of Tangled, Price Givens, and a crypto trader extraordinaire, Octo. How are you guys doing today on this beautiful Friday?
Good. TGIF. So, yeah, very good.
Yeah, TGIF. I haven't done a stream like in a week and a half at least. Good to be back.
Oof. I hope you're ready. I hope everyone out there is ready for all of Price's hot takes. You got a lot of hot takes, Price. So anyways, just before we get started here, welcome everyone. You can go ahead and add your Tangled usernames to the chat now. And we will be compiling them throughout the show, and we will do a wheel spin at the end. And just to preface this, we are not running a FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader this week, but we may do it next week, but likely we will do it in the week after, where we will start Season 2 of the FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader. So stay tuned for that. However, there is currently a bet on Tangle.com when you go to the group bets. And it's an over-under bet right now of where Bitcoin price will be on Wednesday. Will it be above or below $46,200? So if you're interested in putting in your bet, you have to put in 1 million Millix by tipping the post and then commenting below with your choice, above or below. Price, Octo, have you guys partaked in this?
Did.
I
Have you?
have, but I am waiting to click that button until tomorrow because I know the deadline is Sunday, and I already made my decision. But I know the deadline it's Sunday night and midnight, which means I got time until the end of tomorrow to post it in case something amazing changes. But I've been checking out everybody else's bets in there. So calculating my odds.
And that is a strategy in itself, regardless of what the price is, you see what the odds are. If you're looking to just win big, that's the way to go.
Yeah, the contrarian play to get the bigger payout.
I've done a lot of analysis to make my decision if it's going to be above or below, apart from the odds on the bet. And yes, you will see it by tomorrow.
So we won't hold it against you, Octo, because this isn't an official submission. But if you were to put in your entry this second, what would it be, above or below $46,200?
From what I've seen, I'm going to go below.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm above.
Wow. Yeah, I think most people are above. I'm looking at it right now. And there was only a couple of belows, maybe 3. 4 now. But yeah, I've been checking out the volumes as I do every day, and I think this January the 10th ETF SEC decision, it's created a lot of buzz. It created an insane amount of volumes and buy the dip on the last dip a few days ago. And I think everybody, it's just standing and waiting to see what happens now.
Seriously.
Volumes have decreased considerably in the last couple of days. So I think everybody is doing what I'm doing, just waiting to see what happens.
Well,
it could go either way. And there was quite a bit of profit taken on Bitcoin that sort of caused that dip as well. Some very large buy orders have been submitted to exchanges just below 42,000 as well. So I don't know if it's going to make it over 46.2 by the end of tomorrow.
By Wednesday.
But by Wednesday, yes, of course.
So the RSI on Bitcoin has been oversold, I believe, for quite a while, for weeks. And I think that it just, on the 4-hour and on the daily, I think it just went neutral. So it could go up.
It could, yeah.
Stranger things have happened. And speaking of stranger things, everyone, welcome Erickson Montero to the live stream.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Hey. Hello everyone. How are you doing?
Doing good, feeling good. I'm excited for some hot takes from Price. I'm excited for some hot TAs from Octo, and I'm
Yeah.
excited for some, mind-blowing technical talk from Ericsson. It's just, I'm so
Yeah.
blessed to be on a call with you guys. And guys, apologies for, the glitching on my camera. It could be someone trying to infiltrate my my
Oh, wow.
stream here.
Yeah.
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 Some ghosts.
Some digital ghosts.
Yeah.
Ghosts in the machine, if you know what I mean.
Erickson, I had a question for you. Totally off topic. You have a
Yeah.
PhD, master's. What is the difference? Are you also could I call you professor? I mean, what's the difference between a PhD and a professor?
Well, you can be a PhD, but not a professor. A professor usually is someone that is teaching in the academy. Well, I did that for a while.
Yeah, you see,
So you
and you're
could-
teaching all of us, professor.
Yeah, but I'm not in an academy, so I'm
Yes,
not
you are. You're the
really a
FiatLeak
professor.
Academy right now.
Oh, FiatLeak Academy.
So,
That's-
Professor Dr. Erickson Montero.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Could you be a professor without having a PhD? I think you can I?
you could in the past. Right now, I think in Portugal, at least they require you to have a PhD, keep teaching, at least in the university.
Okay.
But before, I think maybe 5 years ago or more, you could be a professor without a PhD.
With a high school diploma. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Erickson,
not high school, but maybe with a master.
I have
with a
one of those.
master.
The masters. Yeah.
Erickson,
Yeah.
if you don't mind me asking you, how many weeks did it take you to complete your PhD?
Oh God!
How many postage
Not
stamps did it
weeks.
require?
Not weeks, but it was 4 years.
4 years. Okay. Standard.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. See, Emmanuel got his doctorates he went to university, I should say, at a very young age, and but few people think that it was anything other than him being very smart, which he is. But I would argue it had to do with bribery. But we'll leave that for another conversation when we have Emmanuel here to defend himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we need Emmanuel to be in the call.
Maybe
To
I'll write a
defend
nice
himself.
article about it and call it Project Baklava. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
So let's get right into the news for today. Let's see. What do you guys prefer? You want to dive into Bitcoin news or Nigerian news?
What's happening in Nigeria?
So I
Same
saw
topic, but
it's an interesting topic because I think there's some overarching takes and points about Nigeria. I personally find Nigeria very fascinating. They are kind of like the capital tech and crypto sector in the African continent. No offense, Erickson, to Capo Verde.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, indeed.
yeah, so the article headline is Nigeria slaps strict rules on banks after lifting crypto ban. Crypto providers can open bank accounts but no cash withdrawal. Banks still banned from holding trading crypto for themselves. Nigeria's central bank has released inaugural guidelines for banks opening cryptocurrency accounts while retaining its ban on them holding or trading virtual assets on their own behalf. The rules published on the central bank's website on Tuesday flesh out the regulator's decision last month to lift its prohibition on banks operating accounts for crypto service providers. So, in one take, Nigeria is the front runner in the crypto industry in Africa, spearheading a lot of stuff. But because of all the regulations that they have and the laws imposed, they have been forced to be very creative as to how they dabble in crypto. And one of my favorite stories that I've heard from the past is in the early days of Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general was banned from being purchased in Nigeria. So they came up with an ingenious way to use a third party to purchase digital gift cards and then trade those gift cards with other people. I think it was mainly in China and Asian countries, trade those gift cards for Bitcoin. And that's how they were able to introduce Bitcoin into their country. And I may be getting that story wrong, but again, ingenuity in time of oppressive government. So with that said, do you guys think this is basically good or bad for Nigeria? What does this imply about crypto and in Nigeria?
I think from what I understand in Nigeria, the crypto adoption is very high. Almost everyone there knows about Bitcoin, and they use Bitcoin. And I see this move as a way for the government to somehow have a control over what is happening there, because most of the trades that are happening in Nigeria, they are peer-to-peer trades. So individual trading in the street, and they want to have some view of what is happening. That's why they want the banks to be able to create a crypto account, so they know when those transactions are happening and how much is being traded. So I think I see that just as a way of having a view and a control over what is happening, because right now they have no control. They don't know what's happening. Then they don't see the transactions because they are peer-to-peer transactions. There is there is a big side market that the government has no
control over
view
or oversight.
Yeah, no.
They're
see
sweating it. They're sweating it a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, they
want to have their hands on it.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening here.
So what do you see foresee in the future for Nigeria? Do you think in the end of the day that the governments are going to be forced to allow businesses to hold crypto and also be able to trade crypto, and the same goes for individuals? Is it an inevitability or what? Where do we see this going?
Yeah, I think so. I think they have to have a way to see what is happening, so they will have to adopt it. That's the only way they can control or somehow have some kind of control over the market and the trades that are happening. And so they may open the crypto market to companies and individual and accept it.
I think all these hiccups in regulations as well, it's a way to allow them some time to get into it as well. If they see it as a rising market, they want to be part of it. So banks at the moment, they're allowed to hold but not withdraw. I mean, there's regulation changing, creating a lot of usage that will not be legal on a second sort of moment once regulation has changed. And by doing this, I think mainly due to the potential they see in making some money from it, we allow time for the government and institutions to find a way to monetize
to catch up.
Yeah,
that's a great observation. As a musician, I'm thinking of a parody now, and Price may appreciate this. So from Weird Al's, one of his favorite artists, New York, New York, from Frank Sinatra. I want to wake up in a market that never sleeps. I want to be a part of it. Bitcoin, I can see like getting all the governments creating this like whole thing, but unfortunately I don't work for Saturday Night Live. I'm here at FiatLeak. So moving on, Price, do you have any hot takes about Nigeria?
Well, I don't know if it's a hot take. You asked the question, where do I think this is going? And I think the answer to that is it's going to go wherever the citizens of Nigeria want it to go. I mean, the population of Nigeria has proven that it's more innovative and more clever than the government's been so far, including what you mentioned is kind of the anecdotal observation. So I think that this, just reading the bullet points of the headline, it's progress. The government is moving towards what the people are, dragging them to. And I think it's not being able to withdraw cash. I'll take that to be literal. I don't think that that's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think that the rules about the banks being able to hold crypto is a problem. So I think this is a good step.
That's good. So progress.
Yeah,
Just progress.
and I see the limitation of not being able to withdraw cash is not a problem for the Nigerians because they are used to do trades on Bitcoin. They don't even need to swap it to cash.
Right.
So for them that's the same.
They've
I read
adopted
that
it already.
I read that as like if we're talking about exchanges, whoever the bank account holder is, that they can't go to the bank and pull cash out of the system. So
Yeah.
this is designed to keep it a closed system, but
Yeah.
Stablecoin does that already. I don't know how. There's no teeth on this. I don't think it doesn't have any teeth.
Yeah.
So the dentures have fallen. All right. So let's move on to some Bitcoin news here. Not a lot of news going on, just a lot of repetition or recycling of the news because, like Octo said, volumes are down. People are really just waiting for this ETF news. People, it could go out either way, and people can profit whichever way the news goes, right? But this article says spot ETF capital. Could funds potentially buy up all BTC in circulation? I could read the other bullet points on this, but this question, is this a lame question or is there some teeth to this, as we have just said? Could funds potentially buy up all BTC in circulation, the ETF funds? Is that even a possibility?
That's
Short answer
possible.
to me is no.
Well, possible it is, but it means that the price will go up to infinity.
It means they would have to offer a lot of money for it. So yeah, price would have to go up a lot, and also to be able to buy everything, it means everybody is going to have to be willing
to sell.
Yeah, and that's a very individual thing. It's not just down to institution and some large whales have a majority of what's in circulation. But there's still, quite a few thousands, if not millions, of wallets belonging to people that are not willing to sell.
They have no way of taking it from them.
If anything in circulation, anything on exchanges gets bought.
That's the key point. I think that at the moment, I think there's about $30 billion of Bitcoin on exchanges, and an ETF could soak up a lot of that. But
that's actually the number they're projecting. If it is a yes after the 10th,
yeah. So that could squeeze the price a lot. I am not super interested in this ETF news. I don't expect much to come out of it. I think that it interests people who are interested only in the price of Bitcoin. They think, well, this is going to happen for me. But anybody who wanted to get exposure to Bitcoin in the last 10 years could have done so without the help of an ETF, and
have done.
So it doesn't change for me. For somebody like me, it doesn't change the fundamentals of what Bitcoin is. And I appreciate the price going up if this is what causes that. But there's a dozen other things that could make the price go up. You don't need an ETF to do that. So it's a lot of noise to me.
Yeah. And also 30 billion, it's like a quarter of what gets traded every day, which at the end of the day, it's not a massive amount.
Yeah.
Price, you touched on something that was going to essentially lead to my next question. And, it could be a loaded one, but do you guys think ETFs are good for Bitcoin?
I think that's why I don't really care too much about it. I don't think it's good or bad for Bitcoin because Bitcoin has no awareness of it. The only thing fundamentally, I'm interested in use case, and a new financial instrument to gain access to something is not use case. That's just a financial instrument. Yeah. I mean, cool. I mean, maybe we get a little money, but not that interesting.
It's just adoption increase, and a lot of it, I think, it's really down to selling the news. The news created a lot of awareness compared to what it was before. But that's not the only thing that really drives the price, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ericsson and I and Danny and Crank, because we founded Millix and we run Tangled. When you first start out doing something like that, you have 100 ideas in front of you that you intend to build or features that you want to launch, and in the beginning you convince yourself that every single one of those is going to change the game and trigger a parabolic move. It doesn't happen like that. It's like you have to build all 100 things to get 100 incremental steps closer to something that you don't know when it's going to happen. And an ETF listing has been talked about for 5 years at least, and it's just one of the steps.
Yeah.
It's just a tool for people in the investment class, the traders and stuff. I mean, It has no fundamental value when it comes to Bitcoin, or I would argue almost anything an ETF is tacked on to, if you think about it. Now let's take it to the next topic here. Arthur Hayes. Are you guys familiar with this businessman?
He's got a direct line to Jesus.
Yeah.
So he's I would say former BitMEX CEO. BitMEX, I don't even think it exists anymore. They fell off, I think, in 2018 or around then. Anyways, March banking crisis rerun risks 40% Bitcoin price crash, says Arthur Hayes. Bitcoin dipping 20% would be healthy, but up to 40% is possible depending on liquidity condition, the former BitMEX CEO now reveals. Bitcoin trading OG Arthur Hayes now predicts an up to 40% BTC price crash in March. In a blog post on January 4th, the former CEO of crypto trading giant BitMEX warned readers of a week of turmoil due to hit financial markets. Yeah, go ahead, Price.
Okay, well, so let's say that everything he says is not couched with might, possibly, and could, and that there's going to be a 40% Bitcoin price crash in March. Okay, a price crash in March from what? From what level?
Yes.
100,000?
Yeah, no, that's true. It's relative.
It's a 60. Better than we are today.
I don't know. I mean, this what are you going to do with a story like this? Man, old man yells at Bitcoin. What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. When in doubt, zoom out. It's one of those.
Right, yeah.
And that includes
and
in the future
the
where
March
things
part
are
of it.
projected.
Yeah, just tell me more about the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. I would love one of those magic 8 balls, but it's just Price's little one-liners. Do you know what I mean? That'd be so good. And give it to every single pundit out there. That's great. Yeah. Where do you guys see the Bitcoin price in March? 100,000 seems possible. Look at where we are today.
I think March is that funny moment just before the halving. Well, not just before. I think it's going to be the beginning of May, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's kind of like this moment now before the ETF decision.
Mm-hmm.
Before the halving, there will be a lot of speculation. There will be probably a lot of people trying to accumulate, and that could drive the price up. It's a bit of a strange one, to be honest, to try and predict. If you go and look historically at what happened before every other halving, it wasn't an incredible rally just before the halving.
No, there's a lag.
It was mostly after.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think the regions of 50,000, could be definitely doable. Maybe even 60. I don't think 100 by March.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what
coin-
everyone else thinks in the chat. If you guys can comment in the chat what your prediction is for March 1st, okay? Or the peak price of Bitcoin in March. It could be any time in March. Where will the peak price of Bitcoin be in March? Comment in the chat. I'm so curious. Price, you were saying.
Well, I just saw a new video from Plan B. You know, Plan B is the guy, the Dutchman who came out with the stock to flow model. That's how he says it. And, so the stock to flow model says that the price range right now should be 50 to 60. So we're under that. And then there's a 3 or 4 month leg, it seems, for the halving to the peak price as a result of the halving. And he's got that at $540,000. And just looking at I didn't look at the timeline, but it would be, I suppose, July, August area. So, but I mean, there's no emotion in those predictions, so that does make them slightly more credible.
Sure.
And saying that the range we should be at now is 50 to 60, I'll go with that.
So Rajni says, and give me a quick response on this. Do you think a sociopath is better for being a technical analyst than a non-sociopath?
100%.
Interesting.
Totally.
Dab says 60,000. He corrected himself because first he says 600,000. So so we're teetering about the upper 50,000 to 60,000 range is what we're getting so far from the chat.
Well, Danny, what was the date that you put on the question?
I corrected
March.
myself. So what would be the peak price of Bitcoin in the month of March? Like what would be the highest high of the price in dollars in the month of March?
60 could be good. You know, with a little encouragement, it could test the all-time high, 69.
Yeah.
And if
Sweet.
it breaches that, then you're going to have a blow-off.
Yeah, if it surpasses 69, you will have a blow-off.
Nice.
It may
In a beautiful correction afterwards.
Yeah, maybe. I think it will be between 60 and 50, and people will be accumulating because all the halving and the speculation. So I think
FOMO.
then the FOMO will kick after we break the all-time high, and that's when we will be pointing at 100K maybe.
That would still be a good way to make money for the market. I mean, you have the I think one of the highest moments of FOMO of this year, and being able to sell Bitcoins at 50 or 60,000, it would be a good achievement and a good profit-making, machine.
Octo, what do you think about those holders that bought Bitcoin at 60? Are they going to sell now that they recover?
Or the people that bought it on the last
yeah.
I think they would be, looking very desperate if they sell. If it gets to that point, after looking at it, waiting and praying for over a year, almost 2.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
To sell it at zero profit, I think it would be very sad. But
It's human nature to do that.
Go for it.
It is sad, but I mean, most traders don't win, and you just described why.
Yeah,
that's why there's
exactly. But I think a lot of those people that did buy at 60, there's been such a roller coaster since then that they would have sold at a loss already. A good majority of it. I don't think a lot of people have been holding Bitcoins that they bought over 60 this far.
Yeah, I don't think
especially when they saw it going down to 16. That's like screaming in their heads. That's the good old panic sale. Kicking in a long time before this year.
My mom loves to panic sell.
A lot of people do.
I'm panic hold.
That's right. The statistics are, very bad if you look at it. And that department.
Octo, let me ask you. I'm going to turn you over to the chat here. We have XFLR that just says, just noticed CME futures just ate a huge gap. Bigger, another big gap below. What does that mean? Interpret that for a uneducated person like myself.
Well, that means that I can see it as well in the liquidity of the leveraged market. Basically, market. I think there's been, this correction. It was like over $4,000 for Bitcoin. So there has been a lot of liquidation in that gap. Yeah, everybody was kicked off, was liquidated. They had open leverage positions. And at the same time, as soon as it started dropping, you saw a lot of shorts coming in, accumulating liquidity above the level that it was before. And at the same time, at the moment that it touched just below 41,000 the other day, there was a lot of new long positions that were put on the books. Some with up to 100x leverage, which is it's totally insane, because you would really need a lot of collateral to not be kicked out on a very small move of the market. So yeah, the gap was caused by this sharp drop of the other day, and that there's no liquidity in between that. There's a lot of bets from the bottom of that drop, and some from the top,
and a lot of which are from leveraged trades. Yeah.
I see one very strange one, to be honest, in the books, which is at around 41,200 or 41,800, with like almost 400 million worth of Bitcoin. So that's like a lot of longs, a lot of people that bought that dip with a leverage position. Which means if it does another quick drop like the other day, just below that level, there would be a lot of happy exchanges.
Very interesting.
Quite a few hundreds of millions.
They're always going to affect the markets, these leveraged traders,
Yeah, although some of them, they are,
great personal risk.
Yeah.
Some of them, they're not open. Some of them, some of this liquidity, they are actually stop losses, and some of them, if the market approaches that level, the price approaches that level, they will get cancelled. Again, most probably at a loss. So it's not for sure that this 400 millions will completely be liquidated if it goes near there. But when it happens that quick, sometimes you don't have the time to literally cancel it.
And that would cause a lot of reverberations in the market. Someone would call it the ripple effect, which kind of brings me to the next topic, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little sound effect there.
Yeah.
So, Price, correct me if I am wrong. Is Ready Player One of your favorite books?
Great book and great movie.
Which one?
I enjoy that movie. Ready
Followed
Player
up
One.
Followed up by Ready Player 2, which was not a great book.
Oh, I see. Well, fun fact, I watched that movie for the first time in Bend, Oregon at Price's place. We were there for some sort of trip. Yeah.
Did we rent the DVD from Blockbuster?
I don't know what the medium was,
God.
But he just actually Blockbuster is before your time, Erickson.
Yeah,
it used to be a store that you could go and rent VHS, video games, and DVDs. Yeah. And the last surviving Blockbuster is actually located in Bend, Oregon. And I remember we were on our way
the
last one. We were on our way to an indoor climbing wall. I don't know what you call it, but it's very popular in Bend. It's a big sport there. And we were passing by a Blockbuster. I'm like, oh, Price, that's the last surviving Blockbuster. And I don't know what Price said, but he basically, churned me down for, stopping in there and just kind of witnessing history. So thank you, Price, for that lack
Yeah.
of experience. But anyways, we watched Ready Player One at Price's house, and I thought it was a fantastic movie. I didn't read the book; it's very ahead of its time, and I found this latest article that has to do with Ripple very interesting. Ripple backed Futureverse to bring Ready Player One franchise to the metaverse. The idea behind the new initiative is to bring Ernest Cline's Ready Player One novel into a multi-world open metaverse experience. Metaverse startup Futureverse, backed by 10T Holdings and Ripple Labs, has unveiled a partnership agreement with Warner Brothers Discovery to bring the Ready Player One franchise to the metaverse. Now, first and foremost, great franchise. You got Ripple, who's, cryptocurrency centric company in the banking industry, partnering up with, a giant company like Warner Brothers Discovery. I mean, this is, the big wigs, Big Brother coming together to do, a metaverse. It's definitely not a decentralized experience, but I think this is pretty damn cool, as long as they don't F it up like Disney F'd up Star Wars and Marvel. What say you guys?
I think it would be fantastic to be able to have that Ready Player One experience in VR. I think
Absolutely.
that I think it's going to, so Facebook how much has Facebook put in so far? 50 billion?
How much have they lost so far?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot.
It's not a small game to play. I don't see any names on this list of this article that seem like they're going to get anywhere near close to what it takes financially. But if you don't have the money, the only other thing you can do is have a great idea, and maybe they do.
I wouldn't say Warner Brothers Discovery has the money at the moment on their end of the bargain of the partnership due to their hundreds of millions, if not billions, in losses in their movie business in 2023 alone. But I'm not sure who else 10T Holdings has in their pocket, but interesting nonetheless.
Well, I don't think they need to invest a lot. Not at least not as much as Meta has. They can just use Meta headset and develop a game for that headset.
They can go the Microsoft route. Do you know what I mean? It's software.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
that's true. Meta was trying to be the first in a lot of things with that, include from the headset to the cryptocurrency. And I was just going to say that about this deal, there's been like so many projects that have been, they tried to get into the metaverse world and the VR game. And I think, you just need a good idea to have one pick up. It doesn't necessarily need that much money to make it become popular.
I think that's very true when it comes to this. In the end of the day, like the root of this is a video game, right? And video game has a lot of parallels to, the movie industry because it's the entertainment industry. And if it's anything 2023 taught us, it's that you don't need a lot of money to make something successful. You have Godzilla Minus One that just completely ran circles around a lot of the Q4 movies that came out through Disney and Warner Brothers, which their budgets were astronomically higher than Godzilla Minus One, and Godzilla Minus One is profitable, and it was a fraction of the production cost. So I don't think money is the winning ingredient anymore when it comes to this. It's ingenuity and execution on the product itself. I just hope they don't drop the ball. Because this would be really cool. I see here on the chat that Hattie Hat says the book is way better. They did a great job on the movie, but you can never make a movie better than a book, in my opinion. So I think that means Hattie Hat's imagination is better than any movie out there. And you know what? Our imaginations are boundless. What do you think?
I think it's true for most movies that came out of a book. The book usually always surpasses the movie. I've seen everybody who's ever commented on any.
A movie and a show has a runtime.
I've got an exception. I've got an exception to that rule.
What's that?
I have some too.
Limitless. Bradley
Which one?
Cooper, Limitless. The movie
Yeah, I
was
like
way
that
better than
one.
the
Yeah,
book.
yeah,
The
the
book
movie is
sucked.
really good.
Really, the book sucked.
Yeah, I mean, he like commits suicide in a dark hotel room at the end. I think it was horrible.
Hmm.
But the
Well,
movie is really cool. I
spoiler
like
alert.
the movie.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, nobody reads the book. Erickson,
I
have you
rewatched that the other
seen?
day.
Did you?
Did you see the movie Ready Player One, Erickson?
No.
That's exactly what I thought. Your
Yeah.
opinion on this is totally suspect, and I just nailed you.
Totally
think
suspect.
that Warner
Yeah,
Brothers.
yeah.
I didn't see it. I don't know
What they show, what this game would be is such a huge computing deal. I mean, Warner Brothers, it seems as if maybe they're trying to convince themselves that it's going to be cheaper to make. So they probably spent $200 million making the movie. How much do you think it would cost to make it real? Less? That's like saying, how much would it cost to make the Star Wars saga real?
It would be the product. It would be the product that would continuously bring in revenue for them, rather than a movie that they only make profit for each stream.
What?
So they're companies like Warner Brothers they hit a fork in the road. And the world is changing, technology is changing, how we consume entertainment is changing, and they're losing money like they've never lost before. And they're having, a moment where they're like, which way do we go? The wind is blowing this way, but we're still doing this business model. If this tells me anything, is that Warner Brothers is starting to look at how they can take their IPs and bringing it into the future. Because if it's not going to be movies, it has to be something else, or else they're going to collapse. That's what this tells me.
I think that's the more likely scenario.
I think Price is raising the bar a lot here, because you just said that they want to make this movie real. I don't think they will make it.
Oh, it's a movie about a game.
It will suck in terms of graphics. If you try Meta Quest and try to play a game, you will see that the metaverse just sucks. So I don't think
it sucks until it doesn't.
Yeah,
the
it
cars
sucks
sucked until Henry Ford was able to make a viable mass production model.
Okay,
like the
you're
personal
right,
computer
Danny.
sucked until
I totally agree with you, Danny. It sucks until it doesn't. All I'm saying is the gap between suck and doesn't is $100 billion.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think they will spend that to make it really good and real, because they want to be profitable on this. So they maybe just do something that is okay, that's cool. Let's release this game and see how much we can do from it.
Well, speaking of
Maybe it's not
games,
that big of a gap. I mean, I have been playing with it since it came out, and I've been experiencing different things. And the platform is there, and it has potential. And there are some apps or games that they considerably have a much better feel and experience than other ones. A lot of the ones Meta made and the basic ones in there, they really were pretty crap, to be honest.
Yeah, they're crap.
But I managed to do some things
they were
in
one of the
there
first,
with,
though. You know what I mean? Like Atari
some
2600.
especially connected to a computer, that were quite awesome, to be honest, including being able to trade on different platforms on a multi-screen, 360 VR scenario.
So when Octo sees Ready Player One and somebody whispers in his ears and says, "This will be real," his first question is, "Yeah, but can I trade?"
I can already do that. I managed to do it even with the PlayStation controllers. Yeah. And it was actually pretty good. In fact, I was just the other day setting something up to record a video of it and post it on Tangled, because it is quite nice. It's a visually very pleasing experience.
Maybe you
and a very quick fun fact about Ready Player One. I have a very good friend of mine in the movie, and he is a Tangled user.
No
be.
You're telling us that
Yeah.
one of the stars of Ready Player One is a Tangled user?
Not
Are
a
you?
star, one of the actors in it. Yeah. It was
He's a star.
Yeah, he's a star.
He's a star for us now.
not a
If
star.
he,
It was.
if he's got a
It-
SAG
No.
card and he
It's
had a
like the
line,
star is there. You may not be able to see it. You know, it's one of those dimmer ones, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's
it's there. It's in a lot of scenes, and it has been in quite a lot of pretty big, famous movies
How about that?
as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I bet you once you drop his handle, you know what? No, don't drop his handle.
No, I cannot do
This is
that.
a perfect segue because Ready Player One is all about Easter eggs. Okay,
Yeah.
we are
Well,
going
can
to
I
do
get a clue?
a
Octo, does he
treasure
have a
hunt.
badge? Do they
Sorry?
have a badge?
No,
Hmm.
no. He's a very hush hush kind of guy,
Mm-hmm.
and
They always are.
I will wait for him to wanting to be
known or seen or
to
public.
come out.
Yeah.
In that
Is it
sense.
Rajni?
Star.
Sorry.
Well,
No,
Rajni
it does
has
have
a
a
badge.
badge.
Rajni
No,
has a
Rajni.
badge. This is going to be for a great treasure hunt, I would say. So we have to commission SHW, which I think is
Yes.
the commissioner of the treasure hunt. So this is a great idea. And I'm loving seeing all these familiar names on the chat. Hello to everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. Remember that we will be running a wheel spin soon where you guys have a big chance in earning some juicy Millix. If you like Millix, well, you've come to the right place. It's this stream right here. So stay tuned for that. Add your usernames to the chat so we can add you in. And let's stick
You
to
know
the
who one of
Ripple
my-
news. Go
You
ahead,
know who
Price.
one of my favorite users is lately? And they're in chat right now.
Who's that?
Felita.
Same. I agree.
You see?
Yeah,
I
There's
agree.
been a lot of activity from her. I think
She's
yeah,
cool.
it's her.
Yeah. Hi,
Shout out
Felita.
to Felita.
Lately.
We all appreciate you, Felita.
Yeah.
So let's stick to some Ripple news here. Speaking of darlings, the darling in the Senate, Elizabeth Warren, she's in the news. Ripple CEO and XRP community urged Deaton to unseat Senator Elizabeth Warren. The XRP community and Ripple CEO have called on Attorney Deaton to accept the challenge to unseat anti-crypto Senator Elizabeth Warren. Members of the crypto community, especially XRP enthusiasts, have reacted to a recent political report about anti-crypto lawmaker Elizabeth Warren. According to the report, Politico noted that no popular figure from the Republican Party has been able to take up the challenge of unseating the anti-crypto lawmaker. Wow, the XRP army are really getting ambitious. They're going for the Senate, the U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think they have a chance?
Against Pocahontas?
Yeah.
Why is she? I don't know why she's been in there so long. I don't know what she did to anchor herself to the seat. And I don't know if anyone cares.
Which state does she represent? I totally forget.
Missouri, Kansas.
No, I think it's Michigan, isn't it? Or
No.
no, I'm sorry, Massachusetts.
Oh,
It's not Massachusetts.
if it is, she's a carpetbagger. Let's see.
Now, for some of our viewers, Price mentioned Carpetbagger and Pocahontas.
Yeah. Why?
you can
Oh, it is
Google
Massachusetts.
All right, so points to Danny.
Points to Danny, born in Oklahoma. That's what I was thinking.
In an Indian reservation or no?
Unless you'd like to think so.
So
Okay, so Ericsson's looking at us like he doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what you guys are
Okay,
talking
so-
about.
Pocahontas is a character from it's a real person
Yeah,
from
it's a real
history.
person.
It's the daughter of an Indian chief or something. The huge feather headdress, all
Native
that.
American.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Native American.
John
So Senator Elizabeth Warren had made the claim that she had enough Native American blood in her to
DNA.
qualify for admission to university or the privileges that come along with that.
Oh.
She
No.
and then it was proven to be totally untrue. So Donald Trump started calling her Pocahontas, and there's a great image of her with the whole Indian headdress on, and I don't know if it's real or not, but
Oh god.
she's just not one to take
Yeah.
seriously.
It's a
All
bit.
right.
Yeah, so basically she cheated I don't know if that helped her. She was also a professor at Harvard, if I'm not mistaken. Was that is something like that?
Are you is she your crush?
She's not my
then.
crush, Price, but I like to stay up to date in politics and entertainment news, so that's why I have some insights, but nothing more, nothing less. And I hate to bring this, but breaking news, everybody, it is 11/11 in the East Coast of the United States, and 11/11 is a very lucky number, and I like to always make a wish, and I make a wish for the crypto community to be profitable this week.
Great.
Dabs, Now, Dabs in the chat, he's saying that Elizabeth Warren is whiter than a loaf of bread with no crust. Dabs is dropping
Wow.
bombs. But Dabs,
Yeah.
what are you going to say about me, Octo, and Danny? Same thing?
We're more of a diverse crew of bread. We're like a diverse bread basket from like a nice restaurant,
Danny is a Brazilian guy.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
think it's due to the lack of sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Octo's got that
Italian
olive
roots.
oil Mediterranean.
Italian. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing
And
is,
then
to live
there's
in a
Price.
country without
Then there
sun,
is Price
I've
from
lost a bit of my
okay, wait. So Price is Wonder Bread. I'll be Bounty Casual. You could be an Italian baguette, and what
an
kind
Italian
of
baguette. That's
Well,
fine.
Erickson's a nice rye bread.
Baguette.
A marbled rye.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Very insightful stream so far, guys. You stay tuned here to get the breaking news and first insights into the future of crypto for
bread.
sure.
Dabs is qualifying his accusation by saying that I'm not claiming to be Native American yet.
I actually have some Native American in my DNA. I checked, but my Native American is from South America. Very small percentage. And I also have a little bit of sub-Saharan African as well. Again,
Doesn't everybody?
Nothing to do with crypto. Yeah, but mine is like 2.6%, I think. Something like that. But again, let's stick to crypto here, guys. What are you doing?
Okay. I was curious about those DNA tests. There's a lot of controversy about those.
Yeah.
Is there
A lot of controversy.
Is there a DNS or
DNA
token that you guys are
Yeah, it's called WorldCoin. Oh, not
That's
WorldCoin.
WorldCoin is for Retina.
I wonder if they can tell DNA from your retina.
That's WorldCoin, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, they can tell a lot of things from your retina, but not DNA, not origin.
Yeah, your retina is more like your fingerprint. It's unique to you. But guys, before we move on, tell me, is there anything else you'd like to say about Elizabeth Warren? Any other things in relation to crypto? Is she good for crypto or is she bad for crypto?
You know what? I'll say she's good for crypto because she puts it in the news every cycle.
Yeah.
I think we can all
Talks
agree
about
crypto's not
crypto
going anywhere. So the more she
Any
brings
news
it
is
up,
good news.
yeah.
I think people would have liked her more if it was true that she was, part Native American.
Yeah.
You have to. I think you have to consider that if somebody with all the credibility in the world says something about crypto and that's good for crypto, then the opposite must also be true.
Yeah, she's only into native tokens.
Danny.
Layer one, yeah.
Layer one native tokens. Elizabeth Warren. All right. Well, I think with that said, we're going to move on, people, and we're going to move on to something that's not much news, but for crypto at large, I think it is interesting when I see things like this. Okay, so Etherscan acquires Solana Block Explorer SolScan amid Sol rally. Etherscan said SolScan acquisition was a collaborative merging to help the firm expand its blockchain data service across multiple networks. Etherscan, which operates an Explorer for Ethereum blockchain, is starting the year with a new acquisition related to the Solana blockchain. Now, I like news like this only because it's showing industry growth of different side businesses beyond cryptocurrency itself, and these are big ticket items. I would even argue in regards to FiatLeak is a good example. FiatLeak was acquired by Price in 2013. This is public information. It was a decent website. People liked it, but he completely revamped it, gave it a new interface, gave it more features, and it wasn't a direct crypto kind of, news acquisition, but it's a product made from and about crypto, and I love seeing like this. It's good for crypto. What's your take on this?
I don't know what Etherscan's model is. I suppose they're just getting ad impressions. Yeah. When so Binance a few years ago, Binance bought CoinMarketCap for 800 billion, and that was not a media or an ad play. And they wanted to control or have influence on that large of an audience and how the measurements were made for cryptos, and Binance has a currency, so that works.
Yeah.
I thought when that happened, and I own FiatLeak, I'm like, oh, here we go, and I stared at the phone waiting for it to ring. I'm next. I'm waiting for the offers.
Yeah.
Maybe the phone's broken.
You were waiting for the.
I have a bad signal.
Here we are today.
Yeah.
You were waiting for the $800 million.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
Well, that call may happen. Maybe not now, but it will.
Maybe next time they will call for Tangle.com.
Yeah. But don't expect good offers, Price. But that call will come.
The phone's not ringing.
$350.
$350.
I gave you $350.
What currency is that
on? It was a South Park episode. It was funny.
Very cool.
Erickson, you and I should do a video where we learn about Solana.
Yeah, we've been postponing this video forever.
No, I just thought of that now.
I want to take a poll.
Because I just thought of it now.
What's more anticipated? What's more anticipated, guys? A video of Solana reviewed by Price and Erickson, or the second coming of Christ? I swear, you guys, how you guys brought this up in so many streams. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? Set a date right now. I want to see a video where Price and Erickson go through the white paper and break it all down for all of us.
Fine. Yeah. Erickson, do you want to commit to a date? Those videos are stressful. Okay, I'll just tell you that much. When do you want to do it?
But if they go as the first XRP one went, they are really interesting, informative, and eye-opening for a lot of people. Solana has been all over the place lately, so I think it's due.
I think Erickson and I do have some suspicions. We need to clear up.
It will be fun if Danny joins us.
No. Open the hood and stick your heads into the Solana engine and crank it on.
Erickson, what about Wednesday?
That's fine, I think.
A lot of hesitation.
Yeah. Danny, will you produce it?
Yeah, I totally produce it. I'll totally produce it. Solana Wednesday. It's going down. Maybe there's going to be a sweet image of Price and Erickson floating on Tangle.com in the Solanaverse.
Yeah. Are we going to create a show that is Protocol Wednesday?
Oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea, Doctor. But I'm going to pull back on the Wednesday. I'm going to pull back on that. I mean, it might still be Wednesday, but Professor, I think that maybe that could be the very first live stream that we do native on Tangle.com.
Yeah.
Does somebody have a mic to drop somewhere? Is there any mic?
Yeah,
let's do that.
Drop
a mic.
You have a mic, then you drop it.
No, it's not going to drop this.
It's too expensive. It's too expensive to drop.
So, but if this is a live stream on Tangled, is anybody else invited, or is it just Erickson and Price in the live stream?
That depends on how good you want the analysis to be. I mean, if you throw 12 people in there, it's going to be a circus.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Very cool. All right. Well, I look forward to that. Make it happen.
You want to join?
I'll join, but that's such a Steve Jobs kind of announcement price. You set a date, you say it's going to happen, and now all your minions are going to be working hard to do it, aka the people on this chat right now. So cool, thanks.
Yeah.
So
let's just leave it to it. It's a Wednesday.
It's going to be a Wednesday,
Wednesday.
for sure.
That's funny. So look at this response.
But I'm excited to know that we are talking about live stream Untangled. If we are that close to it happening, I think that'd be a game changer. Totally.
So let me pose this question real quick to the chat. We have some awesome users here. Do any of you want to compile the usernames for us? And whoever takes on this assignment will get a nice tip of Millix from me on Tangled. Is anybody willing to compile the names and share it with us? Let me know in the chat, and I would greatly appreciate that. And so while somebody decides to do that, while we wait for that response, let's touch on the little brother of the scene, which is Ethereum. You guys heard of Ethereum? We have some news here. One from I'll start with Celsius. Celsius to unstake thousands of Ether, possibly easing Ethereum's selling pressure. Before I'm going to continue, but Octo, just now I want to know if that actually would help ease selling pressure. The defunct crypto lender sent over 30,000 ETH to custodian Fireblocks in the past week, some of which was deposited on crypto exchange Coinbase. Ethereum price might gain in the coming weeks after crypto lender Celsius, which is restructuring its bankruptcy proceedings, said it will unstake its holdings of the second largest cryptocurrency, removing a factor that may have contributed to the token's underperformance in recent months. The company, which is converting to become a Bitcoin miner, had previously said, that's news to me, it would include staking in its activities. The firm has been selling staking rewards on the open market to cover costs associated with the reorganization plan. Where to begin? That's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Octo, I can't imagine how unlocking staked crypto reduces sell pressure.
I would think it's the opposite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, it only would, if the extra amount of Ethereum in circulation, it would compel people to buy. But unlocking it normally, it would just mean a lot of more selling pressure, because whoever has access to it after being locked,
it's unlocked.
Take a bit of profit.
Well, I guess the question that they don't answer here, maybe I'm just not informed enough to know, staked where and staked how. If it's staked on a lending platform and they're going to pull it off that, then that could potentially reduce sell pressure because it takes away the potential for leverage equals liquidation. So if it lowers leverage, you might lower the chance of liquidation. If it's protocol, I don't know how that works.
Well, if it's taken on exchanges, it's normally to get some interest, whenever it's locked,
which comes from borrowers.
Yeah.
Which is used for leverage.
Yeah. But I don't know if it would change the selling pressure if it is from that.
I don't know.
And if it is,
it's just a weird way to pose it.
It would impact the price by just being able to be moved instead of being locked. It would decrease confidence and probably price.
Maybe this is, we've been around long enough, we've seen this, but maybe this is just another example of no matter what the headline is, the response is, this is good for crypto.
Right.
Yeah. I think the world's population attention span is changing. And once you have a couple of keywords, that's the only thing you're going to remember from the overload of news that we get.
Yeah.
A lot of them mean nothing, but what you can take away from it is Ethereum, unstaking, and selling pressure.
Absolutely. Yeah, and staking to me equals selling pressure, and that's why, like, when we were waiting for so many years for Ethereum 2.0, and I was always wondering, yeah, but once 2.0 goes out and all these Ethereum tokens get unstaked, the price is going to tank. I never interpreted it as the opposite. And then, in regards to Celsius, how can a company that's so blatantly fraudulent in their business model and promises, they're a Ponzi scheme for all intents and purposes, be able to, restructure as a Bitcoin mining company? I had no idea. I wasn't expecting that in this.
Well, a Bitcoin mining company is one of the only types of businesses that can trade publicly that has 0 customers.
I see. Look at that. So
Yeah.
that's their likely reasoning then, huh?
Well,
Also they wouldn't be able to do anything naughty anymore if they're just mining.
Right. If they're just mining, but
did
they're trading.
Did they pay all the debt?
Well,
it
they're
sounds like it's in bankruptcy court.
So it doesn't seem so.
How then can they be restructuring into a mining company?
Well,
they are still paying.
They have a lot of
it's a 2-step process. They're restructured into a company that doesn't have any legacy debt. That's step 1. Step 2 is they sit around eating lunch at the conference table and say, "So what do you guys want to do now?" That's step 2.
Yeah, you have to do something. You don't want to be just here, sit in the chair and waiting. So
the thing is that they do have still assets that were, frozen in there until everything gets restructured. Okay, and so does FTX. I believe something is happening around.
I've been seeing a lot of that.
Of January. And so far, the company was handling the liquidation of FTX, and they managed to rack up quite a bit of funds from it. So the restructuring could involve many different things. Hopefully some payback for everybody who lost their money, like me.
Yeah.
And
that's what
I'm unfortunate.
That's what I'm not getting here, is that they filed for bankruptcy, so they have to find maybe they have more liabilities than assets.
Of course,
they have to. Yeah, they have to pay the.
We lost him. I'll bring him back in as soon as he jumps on. Seattle John, just know that I have been compiling the names. So you can go ahead and provide me the names if you like, Seattle John. But it looks like I have them. I have most of them. But you know what? Just if you want to do it anyways, and we can look at it together.
I want to hear what the professor has to say.
Yeah, I was saying that they have more liabilities than assets. They have to pay everyone. Then there will be almost nothing to start a mining company. How are they doing this?
I have a feeling that Bitmain has credit lines for mining companies.
Bitmain.
Right. Bitant. What is it? I used to remember the CEO's name, and I used to be able to pronounce it in perfect Mandarin, and now I forget it. Jijan who? I think.
So
you're very good at pronouncing names, Price.
But Price, this is just a completely brand new company then.
Yeah.
It's not restructuring.
It could be new owners, new management, new corporate.
Yeah, new corporate.
Anything. Yeah, and for that reason, I would when FTX comes out of their situation, they might become the most trusted exchange in crypto because of all those reasons.
That's a valid point.
Sort of like XRP after the lawsuit from the SEC.
Exactly.
Yeah. You go through the fire and you come out of the other side better. Now they're going to be so well regulated and so compliant now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In regards to the bankruptcy in any of these cases, not all the funds remaining in the company have to be used for paying back debtors, that would be a decision made on the final case of it. Even in the case of FTX, it's kind of complicated. It's usually the largest creditors that have to be paid off first, and sometimes it's only a percentage of it, and not just down to how much they had in funds remaining after the bankruptcy. I've been following it and getting so much paperwork in regards to that. It's
are you a victim of FTX?
Yeah. Luckily, as I use many different exchanges, and on that one, I had stopped using it regularly for almost a year when that happened. So I didn't have much in it. Let's say around $1,000, yeah, which is not much at all.
Mm-hmm.
Losing it was painful, even because the amount of coins I had in there was not much FTT. It was mainly some of my other holdings, and they would be worth a lot more now. So
Yeah.
already, yeah. Class action, yeah, it's one of the claims that I'm on already. I've made my claims on that. The thing is that they made there was a line drawn for the type of claim you could make. There was claimants who had less than a certain amount of holdings at the price at the time, and a different level of claim for people with larger holdings. And the percentages of what you could be getting back, it's based on which level of claim you can make, and that was based on the holdings. So technically, smaller holders like I am, there has been talk that I should be able to get back. I should basically get access again to all the funds that I had in there, which have been listed and snapshotted at the time of death.
Hey, fingers crossed for you, man. I really hope you get your funds back.
Yeah, it's, as I said, it wasn't much, but definitely a lot more than what it was. If I'd be able to take it out now, it'd be very interesting.
Sure.
Full disclosure, I had a bit of Matic, a bit of Aave, and some FTT, which I very stupidly started buying while it was tanking, and it's actually worth a lot more. So if I get some FTT out of it, which is, as you know, their own the exchange's currency, that could be very interesting. It's had a crazy rise as well lately, in the last few months. It was below the dollar, nobody was trading it, but being on quite a few other exchanges, it's gone up to over $5 recently.
Wow.
It's quite incredible, yeah.
Well, if you guys want, I can bring up one more Ethereum-based news item that came up today. It's a little bit of a repetition and stating the obvious. It's basically saying Ether ETF likely coming as SEC implicitly nodded ETH as commodity. According to Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyffart, the U.S. securities regulator implicitly accepted Ether as a commodity when it greenlit Ethereum futures ETFs. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission implicitly accepts Ether as a commodity when it approved ETF futures exchange, blah, blah, blah. So basically saying, well, if they do it for Bitcoin, we'll do it for Ethereum. This is just another story. Yeah.
I think that it's a guarantee that Ethereum gets the ETF. I also think I'm confident in saying that James Seyffart does not have fond memories of his school days.
Oh, I think I agree with that one. Oh, man.
Yeah. with a name like that, I'm sure.
And that name's a real stinker.
Yeah, it's a real stinker.
It's a double entendre.
Nothing safe about that name.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
that sucks. Poor guy.
Although I believe there has been some, back to the ETFs on Ethereum, there has been some application made for it already. And yeah, I think, well, not all of them, because there was no deadline set up for it or anything. But it could be something that follows the Bitcoin one they are going through fairly closely.
Well, that's great.
It'll be interesting to
I
see.
mean, let's assume it's
Obviously.
going to happen. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? It's going to happen.
Well,
Well, I've seen some news even yesterday
Yeah.
that some other large investors have made applications and changed their application on the deadline, which was the 29th of December, to allow more and more. And from 15 billion of projected buys in Bitcoin, we went to 20. Now it went to 30. So
Money talks.
yeah,
Money
yeah,
moves.
yeah. Although you have to remember that a lot of those companies that made the application for ETFs, yeah, they own stocks of their own company, and this it's a move to make their stock go up just by making
Yeah.
everybody talk about them. So that's part of it too.
Right.
Kind of a bit of a rug pull kind of move in
Yeah.
a certain sense.
Well, it looks
But
like we lost
I-
price here, like a safe fart.
I felt
They fart.
Yeah.
I felt that in the beginning of the year, almost most of the news were about the ETF not being accepted. So
There was
they
quite a bit
were
of that too.
yeah, they were trying to bring the price down because the amount of news telling that
Yeah.
this can be the biggest pool of all time, and the ETF will not be accepted.
And they did
So-
come back. I mean, the price
Yeah.
did go down, and there was
Mhm.
a crazy amount of accumulation. So it felt really manipulated, in my opinion.
It felt like a manipulation of the market.
And all you need
Wait,
is a couple of whales to help that too.
Yeah,
you know.
they just waited for the beginning of the year to release all this news.
Yeah.
When people was waiting for positive news.
And if you
Like-
add that to the fact that
Yeah.
anybody of these people who has quite a large amount of Bitcoin and bought it at any time during last year, during 2023, taking some profit out to make the price tag
Yeah.
at around 45,000, it's technically a pretty good move.
Yeah.
Sure.
You put in
Yeah.
orders to buy back in, you can increase your holdings by 10% in a day.
That's amazing.
It's a very good move.
And that's a very crypto move too,
Yeah.
Not like these legacy markets. It's not often
That's
that you
right.
can do gains like that.
You can never see percentages like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very rare. You
Yeah.
can only see them when they decrease by that much because something is going wrong with the company. Then
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
Octo, I'm going to want to ask you to give us your take on the current market summary, any new news, anything that we should be, paying attention to in the upcoming week, month, and year for 2024. But before I do so, I want to go ahead and start the initial process for the wheel spin. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 people on the wheel spin. So with that said, I am going to add 15. I'm going to add 15 places for us to win. If there's anybody that isn't listed here, and I'll go slowly here. If you guys want to see real quick, take a look at this. If you don't see your name in there, just comment in the chat, and we will add you before I start the wheel. So, Octo, and I'll pose this to you after, Erickson. Anything that we should be keeping our eye on?
On the last week, and well, today on the market summary on FiatLeak, all I've been seeing as a gainer, it's the 1 inch, which, as you know, is a DEX exchange. Has been doing very well in the last week, although everything else kind of corrected, which means volumes, in my opinion. So that's something to keep an eye on.
How do you explain the uncorrelated move between 1 inch and Cake, which is one of the top losers?
Different chain altogether.
Well, exactly. Cake, it's PancakeSwap, native coin, and PancakeSwap, it's Binance, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
You're correct on that one.
Yeah.
When 1 inch, it's oh no, it's sorry. QuickSwap is the one from Polygon. 1 inch is the one belonging to Ericsson. Which one is 1 inch?
I thought 1 inch
I think-
is part of Ethereum.
No, I think it's multi-chain. I don't think it's linked to one single chain.
Yeah, but the connection of 1 inch is.
Well, if you guys know in the chat, please let us know. Correct
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
What does 1 inch operate on? It's a layer 2, right?
Yeah.
I believe it's Ethereum.
It's I'm not sure, but
I believe it's an
hard.
Indian-based project.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Which
It's
blockchain?
Binance as well.
Yeah.
Except I think it runs
It is
mainly on a
multi-chain.
different chain, on the BSC instead of Ethereum.
Really? That's news to me. I believe they
Up on
started on
Ethereum,
Ethereum.
DEX aggregator on Ethereum, Binance. Yeah.
Okay, last call for the wheel spin. Anybody? Do we have anybody? Okay. Looks like we're about to start this. I'm going to continue. Good luck to everyone. There's going to be 15 prizes for all of you. So your odds are very good that you're going to win some Millix today. And this is our thank you for you sticking around for this FiatLeak live stream, which we adore doing every Tuesday and Friday. And yeah, let's keep the conversation going. You know, we're still in the bull market. There's a lot of upside for this year. We've been through multiple bull markets now, multiple cycles. You know, we can learn from our previous, markets or previous, trades and positions from the past to improve on our positions this time around. I'm definitely going to be doing some things different. There's a lot to look forward to. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, and you were talking about the last bull run and all the moves that happened and that is happening now. And I was looking at the market summary, and it's kind of interesting to see that the biggest loser is LRC, which is Loopring. And it was one of the biggest gainers in the last bull run, because it was one of those first projects that brought the idea of having layer 2 for low fees trading, and then commit the transactions to a layer 1, and it was a very promising project. It got beaten a lot in the last bear market. It's today it's one of the biggest loser, but I think it's one project that we should pay attention to.
So it's a good day to buy if you want to get it at a sale price.
Yeah,
it's very cheap now.
A good run on the last bull.
In the last bull run, it peaked at $3. Right now, it's 25 cents.
Well, remind us again, which project are you talking about?
LRC.
Loopring. Yeah, LRC. Loopring.
Yeah, very. It's listed in many exchanges. Basically, all the major exchanges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he hasn't quite recovered as much as as a lot of the other projects
coins,
and coins, this year, in 2023, in the last year. It's been a lot of late recoveries from the last, let's call it, crash.
Yeah, I think it may be because the competitors got
That's what I was
better,
thinking.
like
That probably has big new projects that are really similar to it, so it did add some extra competition for Loopring.
Yeah,
Guys,
I think
real quick, guys.
and
We
Arbitrarium.
reached our last 5 positions on the wheel, and that's when I'm going to make the announcements. Please keep the conversation going, but I'm just going to chime in every time we hit a winner. From so now the prizes range from 10 million up to 15 million, and there will be 5 lucky winners in these positions. Alrighty.
All right.
Please proceed.
Yeah, I think Loopring, it uses the ZK rollback or holdups, and another project that used that is the Arbitrarium and Polygon.
Congratulations,
and
Hattie Hats, 10 million Millix.
And maybe Polygon and Arbitrarium is
parts of projects on Polygon, yes. ARB.
Yeah. I think
Congratulations,
those two,
Psych, 11 million.
Those 2 projects, they are the ones that are really they got the attention of the users in terms of layer 2 more than Loopring, and I think that's why Loopring is not recovering.
Congratulations, Princesses, 12 million.
What
do you guys think of Balancer? Because that's another one that's like
Balancer.
Yeah.
Never heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an interesting project.
As well. I was thinking the Loopring in general, the slow recovery, it could be due to some of the competition, as we were saying. The market cap at 315 million at the
13
moment.
13 million Rousselis. Congratulations.
With 18 million trading volume, it's below standard for something that's moving. And but the price at 88. Well, the price at
14 million Musinayab. Congratulations.
It's about 10-12x what it was now, making the market cap. Its market cap was over 3 billion, considering what it is now.
Roshni, 15 million. Congratulations.
And maybe that was as far as it could have reached. Yeah. Which doesn't mean it isn't gonna grow anymore.
It seems very hard.
But I've seen a lot of coins doing a similar thing, approaching their maximum on the last bull run, and I have the feeling that they're never going to see the same market cap, because a lot of that market cap is going to be split between themselves maybe and other projects who are very similar and newer.
I think the market is much more saturated with projects this time around than last time around. And 2 cycles ago, I remember the same thing. There were projects like, there was a French company called Arc. There was like a ton of projects that were very
almost identical.
Yeah,
there was a lot of
they barely exist.
Paste projects.
Yes,
really.
Yes.
And as I think I published one of the last few days on Tangled on the Bitcoin Knowledge Group, a list of projects that disappeared and died in 2023, and the list was staggering, and it was a lot of names that we were kind of familiar with if you were looking at crypto in the last bull run. And some of them have just been superseded by better, newer project with the almost similar idea and maybe some improvements.
I think
it's like going through the list of delisted coins in a lot of the exchanges lately, and it takes hours to read.
I think just focusing on layer 2 projects, I think what may decide if they succeed or not is how they build the ecosystem and the adoption from other projects to run on their layer 2 network. So Polygon did that very good. So they have a big community and they have big projects migrating to Polygon.
An ecosystem, yeah.
It's all about the ecosystem. You know, you can build something incredible, but if it's not being adopted and used and have a wide enough net to attract a wide enough user base,
audience,
it doesn't matter. You know, unless you're Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, you know, it's very simple. You know, it was the first of really, you know. Guys, real quick, because we're reaching the end of our stream here, I want to ask you all to please like this video on YouTube, share it on Twitter, comment, and if you haven't subscribed to us already, please do so. And don't forget that we're running a bet right now on Tangled, tangled.com/G/bets, where you can bet the over-under of the Bitcoin price this coming Wednesday, and for your chance to win big. And yeah, speaking of ASMR, Time Fungus says that your voice just fit together nicely, almost ASMR. Now, where's the crackle sounds? But with the crackle sounds not present, I am going to end this stream now, and want to thank you guys so much for joining us. There we go. Ooh, much SMR. Or not ASMR. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to Dr. Erickson. Thank you to Octo. Thank you to the Phantom named Price, who is no longer here. We appreciate you guys. Make sure to check back in with us on Tuesday when we will do another live stream, and maybe we'll launch season 2 of the FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader. Until then, have a wonderful weekend, and we will continue the conversation at tangle.com. Thank you all.
See you.
Catch you next time.
Thanks,
See you
everyone.
guys.
See you next week.